Hello, everyone. My name is Coriel Kramer. I am a metaphysical expert for animals and people. I am here with my new Facebook show called The Animal Experience. And what this is it is my bringing what I've learned from the animals to you over the years. Not over the years to you, but over the years that I've learned. So anyway, so what I'm here to do is I want to say hello to everybody who's going to be joining, and because this is also going on Facebook, as well as YouTube. The Animal Experience is now on YouTube. So it's pretty much all over the place. The response has been incredible. I want to thank everyone who's joining me live and who's watching before, later on. But I've had incredible responses. People sending emails, people telling me in person. One person telling me that the Animal Experience has become their new favorite show besides Modern Family. I mean, come on, that's only after the 6th episode. That's pretty freaking huge as far as I'm concerned. I think it's amazing. I'm getting all this love, 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 love. Hi, everyone. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Kim. Wonderful to see everyone. So that's essentially what the Animal Experience is. So what I am is I am an animal communicator. I am a professional animal communicator for the last 23 years. Animal communicator, a seer, oracle, healer. And what I do is that I've been doing it professionally for over 20 years. Unprofessionally since I was a kid. That's what I like to tell people. Hey, Shelley. So thank you for joining. This is a very, very special project for me. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I love doing my weekly cards too. That's a lot of fun. This is something different. This is something that is very, I think, very needed. I think very called for, and I think that the way that I'm seeing it progressing into people's lives and how they're using it is no small thing. And I'm not trying to poo-poo it, but it's or trying to humble myself down, because it's not about that. It's about being able to see what you bring to this world. And I think the Animal Experience is bringing something really incredible to this world, and I am just thrilled to be its messenger. So, yeah. So this is episode 6. Episode 6 is going to be reason or instincts. Do animals reason, or is it all just instinct? So I know a lot of people have, some people have very strong opinions about this in a lot of different ways. Some people are for, some people are against. The Animal Experience is not about saying one person is right, one person is wrong. What it is it's bringing my personal experience that I've learned from talking to the animals and also to the animal wild collective, the animal world in itself, and connecting to that at the consciousness is what I like to call it, to light. Now, one person might say that they're getting something totally different, and I get something totally different. It doesn't mean we're wrong. It's just that it depends on your experience as a person, as a being on this planet, the animals you're talking to, the questions you're answering, and the questions you're asking, and the answers you're able to hear and not to hear. So it doesn't mean one person's right, one person's wrong, one person's good, one person's bad, one person's cool, one person's not. It doesn't mean that. It just means that this is my experience. So take it or leave it. I don't really care. I mean, I hope you take it, but if you don't take it, I'm okay with it. It's not about trying to change anybody's mind. It's just trying to expand your mind. Try to make you a little bit more open-minded in some ways, and try to bring some things that maybe you never thought about to light. So that's just what I'm here to do. So last week's episode, and it's pretty cool because it feels like all the episodes are kind of falling into place. And it wasn't like I really it wasn't like I gave it a lot of thought. It was more like this topic came to my mind, this topic came to my mind after this topic, then somebody else gave me a suggestion, and that fit really into well where the other topics where I had stopped my topics and I put their topic in. It just seems to be going synchronicity, and funny enough, that's my card for today. Synchronicity, yeah, baby. Not to do a card pull too, but so synchronicity. It seems like this is all unfolding in a perfect way. So last week was soul plans and life plans, and if you have not been able to see about that video, you can either watch it on my Facebook private page. I made a album specifically for the animal experience, or you can watch it on my YouTube channel, and that's under Coriel Kramer. So everything's pretty easy to find. Everything's under my name. So reason versus instinct. Let's get to it. What's the diff? Okay. So for reasoning, Webster's dictionary, online dictionary, there's no more dictionary, but online dictionary says, and I quote, reasoning is the drawing of inference or conclusions through the use of thinking. Now, in layman's terms, or laywoman's terms, okay, that just didn't sound right. In easier terms, so here it goes. Something occurs in your life, and then you think about it, and what actions that you're going to apply to such occurrences. So, for example, okay, you walk into a dark room, immediately you switch on or you search for the light switch. That's instinct. That's not, oh, I really need to search for the light switch right now, and I really want to have light to illuminate my way into this room. No, it's more like, where the heck is the light? I need to turn on light. That is it. Also, you know, it would be something like, for example, somebody brings up an argument, somebody tries to start an argument with you. So what you're doing here is you're reasoning out. A lot of the time, sometimes if they hit you in such a visceral way and attack you in such a visceral way, then it's instinct. Then it's like a knee-jerk reaction. But if somebody's arguing with you about, I don't know, like, you know, politics. Ugh. Anyway, if somebody's arguing with you about that, you start reasoning and thinking about what you want to say to make your point. Okay, that's reasoning. This is an even simpler way. Okay, you want to plant a garden. All right, you have to think out the steps about what you want to do for the actions in order to get the results. So I need to toil the soil. I need to plant the seeds. What seeds do I want to plant? Where do I want to plant them? Do I need a rabbit fence? Do I not need a rabbit fence? Is it above ground? Is it in the ground? Things like that there. So for instinct, hang on, Victoria says, my German Shepherd was great at reasoning, no doubt. Absolutely. I'm not surprised. German Shepherds are, not that other animals aren't, but German Shepherds are bred to be extremely fast, intelligent, because they have to think on the fly, because a lot of them are police dogs or dogs used for rescue and recovery. They have to think on the fly. So, of course, as she says, of course, he still has instinct. Oh, look, a squirrel. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Okay, so for instinct, Webster says, instinct is a natural or inherent aptitude, impulse, or capacity, a largely inheritable, unalterable tendency or organism to make a complex, specific response to environmental stimuli without involving reason. Case in point, again, easier terms. Okay, I gave the wrong instinct before. Anyway, the dark room. The dark room is instinct, it's not reasoning, so excuse me for that, I'm sorry. But you walk into a dark room and immediately you search for that light switch. You don't want to be in the dark. It's got nothing to do with thinking again, oh, I don't want to be in this dark room. I don't want to walk around in the dark and maybe stub my toe or bang my knee. I want to make sure that I have light. That is reasoning. This is instinct. Bam, I search for the light switch as soon as I get into the dark room. Again, so the other analogy that I have is this. You stub your toe. Now immediately, you either grab your foot and you say, ow, or if you're like me, you'll probably say a more colorful term. But that's got nothing to do with, oh, I stubbed my toe and now I want to say this and this and this and this and this. It's got to do with, I'm hurt, ow, I'm grabbing my foot, I'm grabbing my toe, it hurts, and I'm saying this word. So lastly, my example towards instinct is fight or flight. You're feeling threatened, physically threatened. You have one or two choices. Either you flee, and that could even be, curling up in a corner. That's not facing the situation. That's fleeing. Or it's physically fleeing. It's running for your life. Or it's standing and fighting. That is instinct. It's not you thinking, oh my God, this person is coming at me right now. What do I feel like doing? Do I feel like running away or curling up in a corner? Or do I feel like standing and grabbing that pipe and standing and fighting? It's got to do with either, or it's got to do with, I'm out of here. That's instinct. So, what I want to say and talk about now is this. How have animals been seen in the past and even now? Okay? So animals have been seen in the past and even now as beings of pure instinct and lesser than us because they couldn't figure out how either to get away or to get, or even to get even with us humans. Because our mentality was, oh, well, if the dog or if the horse or the cow doesn't like being in the pen, why can't he figure out how to get out of it? Things like that there. Because what we have been told is that animals are dumb, they're stupid, they're unintelligent, they're void of feeling, or either emotion or even pain. Okay, I've heard that a couple of times. That's been interesting. We did this for a reason. We did this because we lost the need to feel like they were fellow beings. We lost the need to feel like they were our brothers, our sisters, that we were walking on this earth with them and not walking upon them, or that they're just things for us to just have or just collect, like baseball cards. Okay? We got into the mentality and we lost that connection to them across and over the way. And what started happening was we reasoned like that. We reasoned out that if we saw animals as things, it would make it easier for us to do whatever we wanted to do with them. If we see someone, take slavery, for example. I mean, I don't want to get into anything heavy. Sorry, but I'm just saying, when we see somebody or something, some being as a thing, we take away their humanity. We take away their beingness. We take away their ability to be a living, breathing fellow being. We objectify them. So that's what happens. So it became easier to see them as simple things. Now, here's the thing. It became easier for us to see them as simple things, or and I know this is hard, but I'm going to talk about this more in another episode on abuse. It became easier to see them as helpless, poor, innocent creatures that we needed to help or that could not help themselves. Something to think about. Now, what this did is this put a distance between us and them. And when you put a distance between yourself and somebody else, you lose your objectivity about them. You lose your ability to understand them. So it became easier to see them this way. It just became easier for us. So now the same thing goes for reason and instinct. What I mean by that is it gives us a sense of peace. And that's okay to say this, all right? There's nothing wrong with feeling this way. I felt this way myself. I understand. I get it, okay? Nothing that I'm telling you is not really something, well, except for the abuser part, but nothing about what I'm saying here is that I haven't worked through myself, okay? I wasn't born, I had to work through all this myself too. So I've been there. But what happens is it gives us a sense of peace to think that that animals can't think for themselves, that they can't process actions like we can, that they can't reason their way out of situations, that they need our help. Because to think that they can, it lessens your comfortable distance with them. It lessens the distance that humanity has put between us and them. It's frightening to a certain extent, if you really think about it. And that's why we had to numb ourselves to it. Because if we thought about it too much, we would start feeling the opposite of, as opposed to empowered, we would think that we would feel vulnerable. And humans don't like feeling vulnerable at all. Not a lot of times. You have to learn how to feel vulnerable again. So let's get to it. That's how we used to see animals in the past and how we even see them now. And how that distance, and that works with reason and instinct. So let's get to it. Do animals reason? Keeping Webster's dictionary and definition in mind and thinking back on my life with my own animals, and as well as seeing other animals, in the wild, as well as domesticated, then for me personally, the answer would have to be hell yes. Of course they reason. Of course they think. Of course they feel. Of course they can figure stuff out. But you can only do so much. So here's the thing. Take some tape. I know this sounds crazy, okay? But take some tape, okay? And wrap it around your hands, okay? Wrap it around your hands so your hand like this, okay? You can't use your thumb. That's the thing that makes us all think we're all hot shot and hot shit, is we got thumbs, okay? But walk around for the entire day like this, with your thumb wrapped around your hand, and then try to do stuff. Try to get out the door. Try to, get into the house. Try to use your car key. Try to use your key to your house. Now, how would you feel if somebody then said, well, because you can't use your thumb, you're an idiot. You can't reason. You can't figure it out. Even if you could use tools. Okay, here, I got scissors. Got a pair of scissors. How the heck am I supposed to use it? I got no thumb. And my fingers are all like I have a hoof. So saying that an animal can't reason because they can't get out of the cage, or they can't pick the lock, or they can't get out of the gated fence that's got a padlock. I mean, they're not MacGyver, and neither are you. quite frankly. I'd like to put some people in a pen and a cage and see if they can get out of it. Okay, come back a week later. I bet there's still 7 people in that cage. Okay, the 7 people I put in that cage, I bet they're still in there. Unless they've eaten themselves, then that's another episode. But that's what I'm trying to say, is that wrap some tape around your hands so that you cannot use your hands. You can't use your thumbs, and your fingers are tied all together. And then walk around. Hell, just walk around for 30 minutes like that. Okay? I will guarantee you, after about 2 minutes, you're going to want to start to go stir crazy and tear at that tape. Why? Because you can't do it. You can't function. But does that mean that you can't reason, that you can't think out of the situation? No. So, that's my little take on it. Am I passionate about it? Yeah, probably. But what the heck, examples. My cat Tau, my orange ginger, is, oh, God love him, he's way too smart for his own good. Okay, now he's MacGyver in cat form. Okay, I swear to God. All right, if you put that cat in a lockbox, okay, he would Houdini his way out of it. I guarantee. But he learned after only a couple of times of moving to this house, he learned where I kept the dry cat food. He learned how to open up the cabinet that has a bolt on it, all right, to keep them out. Now, does that mean that that's instinct? Oh, I'm hungry and I just want to open up this door? No, of course not. He has to figure out how to open up the bolt. He has to figure out how to swing that cabinet so it doesn't come back and hit him on the side of the head. He has to make sure that it swings. He's got enough momentum to, Einstein's theory of relativity. You push against something and you get an equal opposite reaction. So are animals stupid? No, not really. I don't think so. So he's got to figure out how to open up that cabinet door so it doesn't swing back and hit him in the side of the head. That's pretty freaking smart to me. All right? So, Sam, there was an instance where my cat Sam, talk about fight or flight. My cat Sam, after he got attuned to Reiki, I caught him outside one day, the next day actually. He was sitting on the picnic table down by my old house, down by the pond, and he was looking into the trees, just looking. And I knew something was going on here. Something told me to just stay and watch this. It still blows my mind to this day. So he's sitting there looking at the trees, and then all of a sudden, maybe about, I don't know, maybe 3 to 4 seconds later, a red-tailed hawk comes swooping down. Now, Sam is a cat. Red-tailed hawk, big girl, comes swooping down without her talons out, comes swooping down, swoops down over his head. Sam does not move a blink an eye, and then swoops out and goes to the trees up beyond. He didn't move. Didn't fear, didn't move. Didn't react like he was going to fight, didn't move. He knew exactly what was going on. And I asked him, I said, Sam, what just happened? And he said, oh, I just attuned the hawk and she's just flying by to thank me. Now, that's not fight or flight. That's not reasoning. I don't know what is. Okay? So that's the thing that I wanted to say. Now, also, you've all seen documentaries on packs of animals, the wild animals, like the dingoes or the wolves, and how they go after a herd. Now, some of that is instinct. Yes, of course, I'm hungry, I want to go after the herd, ergo, ipso facto, I'm going after the herd. But they have to reason out who's the one that's the weakest. How are they going to get that one away from the rest of the herd? How are they going to take them down? How is the other part of the pack going to work together cohesively to make this happen? That's reasoning. Instinct is the fact that I'm hungry, I'm going after that water buffalo. See you later. That's instinct. So, of course, animals reason. So then I saw this documentary once. This is my last one. The list goes on, okay? But I've seen this documentary once where these crows were standing on a wire. And then all of a sudden, they would swoop down to this wire with a nut in their mouth. What they did was they dropped the nut over the street, down onto the street, and let the cars and the motorcycles run across them and open up the nut, the shell. Then they would swoop down when there was no oncoming traffic, okay, pick up the nut, go back up into the wire, and eat the nut. They would do this constantly, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then, of course, you got chimpanzees. You know, Jane Goodall spent her entire life proving to us that animals, the chimpanzees, use tools. You know, they reason out, if I do this, I get this result. That's reasoning. So, you know, go on YouTube. There are people that are constantly showing, you know, animals doing, you know, incredible things. People are constantly showing me photographs of their animals doing incredible things and videos of animals doing incredible things. They're trying to post it to my Facebook page. They're trying to, you know, send it to me. And, you know, I love those things, but they don't shock me. Aren't they? Isn't this incredible? Isn't this incredible? Isn't this amazing? Not really. You know, it doesn't mean that I'm cynical. It doesn't mean that I've been doing this for too long and I've lost my objectivity. It doesn't mean that. It just means, for me, it's like, of course they can do this. I get this feeling of, you know, I want to share this because it's really incredible. When I get this, when I feel this, I immediately feel a kinship with that animal. When I see those things, I feel that kinship, a closeness, a gratitude to them, an incredible gratitude for what they're trying to show humanity. And what they're trying to show to humanity is we're all one. We're all one. It doesn't mean that, you know, one is better than the other because you can move your fingers and your thumbs in a circular motion. Oh, whoopity-doo. It don't mean that I'm better than a cow, or I'm better than a wolf, or that a wolf is better than me because he's cooler. It just means that we're all one. That's what mitakawasan means. That's what my language, the Sioux language, means. It means we are all one. There's no difference between me and an animal, me and a stone, me and a tree. It's all energy. We're all energy. So yes, animals reason. That's my opinion. And if you have other instincts and you have other information on instincts and you want to share it with me, bring it on. That's fine. You know, find me on YouTube. Find me on Facebook. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I'm open to hear what you have to say. Okay? I'm not going to tell you no, you're wrong. I'm just going to, I'm going to listen to your opinion, and I'll say, and I'll let you know what I feel. That's it. So many people are coming in with information. My Garish Coriel, you are a fantastic Coriel, you are a fantastic storyteller and a purely a comic too. Yeah, I thought about going into comedy. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff, so. I'm glad everybody's having a good time. So what I'm getting here is that that was my question. Victoria said, that was my question. Did you ever discuss reasoning with animals? Of course. That's how I found out about this stuff. I connected to animal consciousness. What do you see? What do you feel? What is your experience? Let me know. Okay? So that's what I wanted to say. This is episode 6. Reasoning versus instinct. And, I want to really and truly, I really want to say, first and foremost, I want to say thank you to the animal world. Got to thank the animals, because without this, we wouldn't be here today. I'd be sitting here, scratching my head, doing nothing. I don't know, So I really got to thank, the animals, for everything that they've shown me every single day, the wisdom that they bring into my life, that I'm able to share this with you, because they make me a better animal communicator. Hell, they make me a better person. Everything I learned, I applied to my life every single day. I remember. I make it a habit. I take out the habits that don't resonate with me anymore, and I put in the habits that resonate with me. And a lot of those habits I learned from the animals. So what I want to say also is I want to thank you guys for joining me both on Facebook and YouTube, live or not. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I want to thank you especially for your topics. Please, continue to share them with me. If things come up, shoot it to me in a email at mail@corielkramer.com, or send it to me in a PM through Facebook, through either my business page or my personal page. I don't care. Just send it to me because I'm loving it. It's incredible. I got topics for the next 7 weeks. Okay, even more. I got going into. I think I'm going into the new year now. So next week I'll be discussing how animals communicate with one another and with us. How do they do it? What do we do? How do we get it? How do we get information from them? How do they do it to each other? How can, a wolf talk to another wolf without saying a word, or without saying a sound to another wolf? And that wolf knows, and that wolf is a half a mile away, or, a quarter mile away. How? So that's what I will be discussing next week on the animal experience. Now, remember, you can see it on YouTube. You can see it on Facebook. I'm going to be uploading this video to YouTube within the next hour. I got a lot of busy stuff to do today. Uploading. So if you're interested in a session for either you or your animal companion, please go to my website, which is corielkramer.com, CORYELLEKRAMER.com. And you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Pinterest, you can find me on Instagram. Oh, a lot. All under Coriel Kramer. And I want to thank everybody again for tuning in. I love you guys. I really do. I think you're amazing. Your animals are amazing. And I thank you all for being in my life. Absolutely. Even if it's just weekly or more. But I love you guys. I will see you next week. Have a fantastic day. Thanks again for joining in, and have a wonderful week.